And we're back on TITV, Rodney, and Pat Murphy thinks the reason I'm all choked up was his presence in the studio. And we are excited to have him, but that's not why. But I am battling to get through this. But good news is we do have Patrick Murphy with us to talk Alabama softball. And let's start off, Coach, with just the thrill of coming home from Fayetteville with the SEC regular season championship, the SEC tournament championship, to sit there and watch that selection show knowing that you had an opportunity to be the #1 overall seed for the first time ever. And I guess it's the trifecta. Championship, #1 seed. What a thrill, huh?
I know. We were, you think about it, in years before, we thought we would be seeded higher, and we were like 6, 7, or 8. And this year, we weren't quite sure. And, we won the 24 in a row. We won the tournament. We won the regular season. And it just all came together at the right time. And our RPI, that was the key, I think. Our RPI was #1 from the very beginning. And I think the committee looked at our schedule.
Coach, when you were on Tighter Insider TV back in January, we were talking about the team, and I had asked you about all the experience that you had lost, all those great players that had led you to so many wins. And, I mean, did you really ever think, did you project, how did you feel this team progressed throughout the season?
Well, we said earlier in the break, we had lost 4 games at home the past 3 seasons combined. And by the end of about February, we had lost 4 already at home. And I can remember going out to take a picture out, and a fan yelled, "It's about time." And, I was like, oh boy, we got something going on here. Because they were frustrated, we were frustrated. And then, after we lost the series to Florida at home, we haven't lost since. And Kelsey's, I think, won 22 in a row. The team's won 24. And it just all came together. And the thing that we were worried about was that experience, those 5 starters, and the thing that we needed was that game experience. And by the time the SEC rolled around, we were getting it.
You mentioned Kelsey and her winning streak and the team at 24 in a row, which is unbelievable. But she had a good year going, but she was giving up some home runs. She was getting into some trouble with walks. And all of a sudden, it's almost like you just snapped your fingers and said, "Kelsey, work your magic." She just took it up a notch, and at that same time, that's what allowed your team, it seems to me, to really get on a roll like they've gotten on.
You're right. It was something like that. I really don't know what exactly the thing it was, but something clicked. And you're right. She's the first kid that we've ever had that's won 3 consecutive complete games at the SEC tournament. She was the MVP. She was just named the USA Softball National Player of the Week. Well deserved. And she just kind of put us on her shoulders and said, "Let's go."
Coach, you talk about her putting you on your shoulders, but obviously we talked about the experience that you had to replace. Kind of talk about some of the players who really stepped up as the season went along.
Well, I think you got to start with #1 is Caleb Rowe at second base, who not only replaced a really good second baseman in Lauren Parker, but she replaced a 4-time All-American in Brittany Rogers at leadoff, and nobody thought that we would get production from her like we have. An umpire kind of made a bad call. And in the SEC tournament, and she would have ended the season hitting 500. She hit 497. That's the type of the leadoff we've had. She's been on base like 60% of the time. Courtney Conley at third base has really come through with some big hits. Jennifer Fenton in center field, Jasmine Lunsford in left field, Kendall Dawson and Olivia Gibson at catcher, who have done great jobs behind the plate. And Lauren Sewell, she came in as a freshman pitcher, and she went 10-1 and picked up some of those games that we were worried about.
Real quickly, Coach, we've only got 30 seconds left for this segment, but I know on paper you're the best team in the regional. Still, you can't take anything for granted. You're hosting this weekend, and I know it's another opportunity for Alabama softball fans to support this team.
We would love to have 3,300 people at every session. We opened up with Alcorn State, and then Lipscomb and UAB play before us. 3 very good teams and 2 conference champions, 1 at-large in UAB. It's the first time they've been in, and I know they're going to be excited.
Well, thank you, Coach, for joining us. And hey, I didn't ask you about the World Series. We want to just let everything take care of itself in due time. You keep winning, you keep this winning streak going. You don't lose again, you'll win it all. I can even do that math.
That's 10 more.
All right, Coach. Pat Murphy joining us live in studio to talk Bama softball. Meanwhile, the Alabama baseball team finds itself in a much different position. They're still alive, but just barely in regards to making the SEC tournament in Hoover. Here's the deal. Currently, LSU, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Alabama are all tied for the final 2 spots. Alabama plays at Tennessee this weekend, but Bama does not control its own destiny. That's because both LSU and Kentucky have tiebreaker advantages over Alabama, having won the series against the Tide. So even if Bama sweeps the Vols, either the Tigers or Wildcats still have to lose a game in order for UA to take advantage and make the field of 8 at the Hoover Met.
I guess for us, we've kind of been in this mode now for a couple weeks, and but really, you know, it does come down. I mean, we know exactly what has to happen on our end, and we've got to go play really good baseball, and we have to win. And you know, when you win, good things seem to happen around you. And you know, that's our mindset going into Knoxville is go play our best baseball on Thursday, and you know, and get a win there, and then just take it into the next day on Friday.
SEC tournament at Regents Park next week. That's why the series this weekend are Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, so there's an extra day of rest on Sunday for the teams. Alabama can sweep and still not make it. They don't control their own destiny, but you can't worry about any of that. First goal is just to beat Tennessee.
That's right. It's a tough situation, no question about that, Gary, but stranger things have happened. I mean, certainly Alabama has to control its part of the equation by winning. It's just like Mitch Gaspard said, and then see what happens in the other games.
You know, early in the year, they started out hot. They won their first 2 SEC games against Vanderbilt, had a chance to sweep on Sunday, let it get away from them. They lost by a run. Then the next weekend, Friday night and Saturday at Arkansas, they had huge leads. They wound up losing in the ninth. Those 3 games right there are the difference between being 12-15 and 15-12. If you're 15-12, you're in great shape. It just shows you what a fine line there is between making it to Hoover and not making it. Well, when we come back, we're going to take your phone calls and answer some emails. There's the phone number, 205-348-9882, or you can email us, TITV at WVUATV.com. Stay with us. We're coming back, and we're going to talk with you right after this.